Welcome to the New York Outlook for Thursday, the 30th of November 2023. Starting off with the economic calendar, what you can see is we had some Euro CPI related news that is considered medium impact. However, it is inflation related and quite important. What you can see is that actual was less than forecast, and as a result we're anticipating that the euro dollar will go down. In terms of the New York session, we do have some red folder news. Depending on how this plays out, provided it is negative, we can potentially long EURUSD based on the latest news release, and I'll explain why when I'm going through the charts. But I guess kicking it off with GBPUSD. Starting with the daily, what you can see is we're finally getting that bearish daily candle after 5 consecutive daily candles. We started off the London session with a rationale to trade both directions, given that the pullback phase didn't complete in this 4H pullback phase chalk wasn't broken yesterday. However, the London session broke that level, which then validated the pullback phase and invalidated the ERL continuation phase. What this essentially means is we need a pro-trend 4H OB to provide backing for creation of a new primary leg to then target the 4H swing high, which will likely be validated by the end of today by the bearish close candle, which if we look on the daily, you can see the current day wick is lower than the previous day's wick. In terms of approach for the session, there isn't much reason to continue shorting because the ERL reversal scenario for the day has achieved its objective of filling this fair value gap and reaching this pro-trend OB. Thus, for that reason, I think for the remainder of the New York session, it makes far more sense to consider long trades if those set up. Also, we pretty much used up the entire daily range for today, so trying to continue shorting against this 4HOB is probably not the best idea. However, for me specifically, because I took a EURUSD trade during the London session, which I'll go over next, I don't think, I won't be trading GBPUSD, and I'll focus my efforts on EURUSD since that is the pair I've decided to trade today. Something to perhaps look into for me specifically is, like I said, when we came into today, we were under the ERL continuation momentum premise, with both longs and shorts making sense. What you can see is we created this ERL reversal leg and this primary leg OB for this reversal primary leg, which then had this 15-minute change of character, and then subsequently when Frankfurt opened, we had this and the validation of supply and control. However, we couldn't trade based on this POI right here, right there, because it was tapped on the London session open at 10 a.m. and because of this fact, our stop loss wasn't very well placed, and there was a chance that the high of the day or this level would be wicked, and had we entered here, our stop loss would have been at the high of the day, which would likely have been taken out. However, in a situation like this, I think what I want to consider going forward is if we use the previous day's high of the day, which would have been there, and we take this extreme and position ourselves at the high of the day or in and around this area with using this previous high of the day as our stop loss, just because it's reason to trade both directions, then perhaps there is some scope for improvement on how to trade this scenario, just because there's no change of character. So when price is coming back up, 15 minutes is still in control, and the idea is to trade based on this POI. So this POI is wicked and not broken, which we wouldn't know at the time what is going to happen. However, there's no change of character prior to suggest that price coming up from somewhere here will lead to a control shift. This was a potential winning trade. That's not in my trading plan at present. However, I do intend to investigate it further. Anyway, that brings me to the end of GBPUSD, and I'll move on to EURUSD, where we can unpack this a little further. Yeah, so starting with the daily, what you can see is yesterday we had our bearish pullback. However, yesterday's daily high was higher than the previous days, suggesting that we're still in the ERL continuation momentum phase. And if we look at the 4 hour, the pullback phase was yet to be validated by a body break of this, which was validated at 12 p.m. today. So starting off the morning, our primary bias for EURUSD was just too long. There wasn't scope for any reversal trades, which then led me to the 1 hour. And on the 1 hour, I saw this demand chain that had validated itself on Tuesday. And then because it's a chain, I decided that the fib would best be associated with the days, with the low of the days related to the POI. Because there's no change of character and there's no risk that 1 hour control has shifted, I essentially put my entry right here, which I can show you right there. My stop loss covering the low of the day, and 1 to 3 being possible given the ADR. However, what you can see is prices plummeted through, and yeah, so that essentially led to me refocusing how I will approach the New York session, because on the New York session, now that we've validated the pullback phase, we are now into the pro trend extreme, which then prevents us from taking any short entries until we're back in the pullback phase OB, and then we validate IRL to support continued shorts. However, once this fails, then obviously there's no more shorts, and any other 4HOBs are considered CPBs. In terms of my New York session approach, what I'm waiting for is for the New York news release. Provided that it is negative for the USD, I can then consider trading long. And I'm completely opposed to trading shorts because we've reached the primary, the pro trend extreme and exhausted the daily range for shorts for today. In terms of a 5 minute, the 5 minute currently, if I'm seeing this, yeah, so the 5 minute currently has created our change of character OB, so we need that to be broken, come back into demand, and then move back up, and at that point we'll have confirmation that demand is in control from the pro trend extreme, which is creating a new primary leg, and then we can consider trading longs, provided that the US news is entirely negative for the USD. If it's mixed, yeah, I'm not interested in trading it because the Euro news suggested downward trajectory, and that would override a mixed bag of USD. So we'll see how the day progresses. Essentially, I'm down 1 hour for the day, and yeah, I guess we'll chat again in the end of day review for today.